Hi, I'm Terry Murphy, Senior Editor for Realty Times, Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and In the Men's Room with Murph. And today we are definitely with Women in Business, entrepreneur and supermodel. This is the most wonderful lady. I love her to pieces. Her name is Kathy Schmalen. She's the founder of Que Sguardo Makeup Studio in Chicago. When working with Kathy since the 80s and 90s, when she was a supermodel with Harper's Bazaar and a number of other Vogue. She was also one of the semi-finalists for Miss USA and a Miss Illinois winner. She's not only a phenomenal business person and gorgeous woman inside and out, but she's the mom of 3 gorgeous girls and a proud grandmother and looks absolutely spectacular. It's hard to like her. But you know what? Kathy has done such great service for all of the major commercial studios in Chicago, in the Chicago market, including serials that you've heard of, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and all of the anchors. And the reason she's been able to do that is she has always been the go-to resource for makeup and makeup supplies and makeup applications. And today she's here to share with us one of her secret weapons, Frantz. Welcome, Kathy Schmalen.
Hi, thank you, Terry. I'm glad to be here.
Well, you've got this amazing, wonderful background of being in front of the camera, and now you help people behind the camera. And one of the things we've learned is that just because we're not a TV star or on a television anchor, we are needing some help on looking and feeling our best when we are now working from different virtual venues. And so Que Sguardo has always been a go-to golden resource for products and services to make us look and feel our best, regardless of what it is, whether it's highly commercial like television or film, or just being your best you. And one of the things that you were able to do out of the COVID transition, I'll say, is that you were able to leverage the services of one of the top makeup artists, and I'm using emphasis on the word artists, of Frantz from NBC. Tell us a little bit about your association with her.
Well, again, Karen and I have been friends for a very long time, but also have worked in the same industry per se. So we have worked together, myself supplying what she needs and her being able to do her craft to the best. So we did have some conversation about not being able to do in-person artistry with somebody. And so the idea of what was needed, Karen knew what was needed at a certain time because she had these anchors, which are television people on camera, that were very used to waking up and closing their eyes, and magically Karen would put their makeup on and they would be transformed into what we see in front of the camera. And all of a sudden it was like taken away from them, and they had to do it all themselves. So Karen actually was doing that kind of work with them and helping them because I'm not going to say they didn't have a clue, but no one can do it like Frantz. So once you get taught by her, you just are like, whoa, this is crazy. So it kind of came out of that, then knowing that there were a lot of people out there that need this type of service. It's just a big service that is very embraced right now. So, so we have a virtual consultation per se, which is more of a series. So it's steps that you go through. It's not just one 30-minute session. It's a first session after we have a contact and we hear what your needs are and such. Then it's a first on-camera session, a Zoom session per se, learning kind of what you need, how you can do your makeup. And Karen can talk to this much better than I can because she's the one who's actually talking to the people. But then after that visit on Zoom is done, then the person has the opportunity of purchasing needs through Que Sguardo. So it's not going out, having to go to a store, going shopping, looking online for something. It's all here at your hand. So it's at your fingertips. And then I send you out what you need, or if you're in the Chicago vicinity, I deliver it to your house. And then you have a second session with Karen to kind of bone up on things and see what you can do and if there are other issues involved and such. And this could go on for, say 2 sessions, 3 sessions, or it could evolve into a few more sessions also.
And they're all recorded. So how about if we get to meet Karen?
That sounds great. And I will duck out so you and Karen can chat. How's that?
That's terrific. And thank you so much for joining us, Kathy. And we'll, of course, let everybody know how to find Case Squardo towards the end of this. Hi, I'm Terry Murphy, Senior Editor with Realty Times Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and In the Men's Room with Murph. And today we are definitely all about women in business. And our guest today is a high-demand makeup artist. Her history is for 21 years with NBC in Chicago, applying makeup and using makeup tactics and strategies and tips on celebrities, politicians, models, photo shoots, film shoots. She is the who's who of everything who makes people look great in front of a camera. And her name is Karen Frantz. Karen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Terry. Glad
You
to
look
be here.
absolutely spectacular, but I would expect nothing else. You made Kathy look even more beautiful. Kathy is the owner of Case Squardo Makeup Studio in Chicago on Huron. And when COVID hit, both of your businesses had to transform. NBC shut down, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, all gone because we couldn't be close to people. Makeup artists had to go home because they couldn't be that close to an anchor who are now suffering through their own makeup. But tell us what came from that and how you've been able to discover new ways to help people from anytime, anywhere.
Okay, sure. Well, what happened was we were shut down due to COVID, and all of a sudden, my people, my anchors, my reporters were left on their own. I left them with paint by number charts and all their makeup, everything labeled, and still I started to get phone calls as early as 5 a.m. saying, I don't know what to do. So all these years, I've been doing the makeup for them. I've tried to teach them, but then what they tell me is, I didn't really pay attention. I'm busy doing this. I'm reading my script. I'm doing whatever. So now here we are on Zoom and on the phone call, and I'm trying to teach them how to do their own makeup. And that's what got me to thinking, why can't we do this for everybody? And so I started out, I had this one lady called me up. She's a scientist. She's never worn makeup, and now she finds herself having to do these scientific workshops on Zoom. And she was not happy with the way she looked. She didn't have the confidence in herself to do them. And she's this young, beautiful woman. And so we just took her through it step by step. And I like to call it a journey because it is more of a journey. What we do is it starts with a phone call, and therefore I can determine what you need. What is your need? Do you need this for a Zoom? Do you need this for an event or whatever it may be? So we do that. I need a picture, a selfie of you. I need a picture. I would like a picture of you in your own makeup, and a picture of the makeup that you want to use, including the tools. So then I know where we are, and we can begin. So we start and we go through everything step by step according to your needs. I will make recommendations for certain products that I believe in, that I know will work for you, for whatever your need could be. I do work with Kathy at Case Squardo, so we work with professional makeup. A lot of people are not that familiar with professional makeup. The price point is wonderful. It falls between your drugstore makeup and your department store makeup. So it's very affordable because they don't really spend money on fancy packaging or advertising. So, it's a good price point. And it's all quality. Everything that we work with is quality. But normally I start out with everything that you have. Now, some people have too much of everything, and other people, and other people are still using the little spongy in the little box of makeup that they get.
In 1956. Yeah, so there's that.
Right. So, it varies. So I've done, and one of the most recent ones I've done is for a young girl who's just learning how to do her own makeup. So her mom wanted to make sure that she wasn't doing it wrong, overdoing it, because they're all watching Zoom, not Zoom, the YouTube.
You
They're all
do.
watching YouTube. And so they're looking a little too old, too mature. So that was one of the most recent ones. So there's a variety, but it started out with just the anchors calling me up.
The thing I think that most people need to know is there's a distinction between just learning how to put it on, but understanding how you put it on. And that's what you did so well. And as I explained with Kathy, we were talking about the fact that, my goodness, I've been in front of a camera most of my career, and I was pretty smug about how much I knew until I got a Karen experience and realized it was pressure on it was the pressure you would put on a brush, what brush you used, how you used the brush, what angle the brush was at. There was so much more to it than just smear this on. And we talked about good skincare to start with, but then you actually take somebody through it because you know what their brush collection is, if they have any, you know what colors they've used, if any. You also let them know that they could just be a shade off. I mean, so some people are, wear makeup all the time. Other people don't know how to do any of it. But as we use this distance thing, or as we finally come out of this, there's more reason to look and feel our best, because that fosters confidence, and confidence is a good thing for whether you're looking for a new job, or whether you're just trying to connect with a client or a customer, or you just want to make a good impression. I mean, I'm certain that this is going to impact presentations like Match.com, where people are not necessarily physically in the same place, and you want to look and feel your best. And it also, we'll do another segment another time for men, but for today's purposes, when we work together, first of all, you have to do that first scary step, which is take a picture of yourself with no makeup. And then take a picture of all your brushes, all materials that you use. And one of the things that I found that was really refreshing about what you mentioned about that professional makeup, commercial makeup is not inundated with fillers. And so the color textures, the color is going to be different than somebody who says it's the same color over here. And you can use what you have if it works. And if you don't, you can use something that you used somewhere else, and it still looks great. So it's not about selling product, which I think is some of the buy issues when you have it done at a department store, because they have to sell X amount of a product, but the product that's right for you. So in your experience, what's the number one, if there is a number one mistake most women are making when they wear makeup or make a choice of wearing makeup?
Well, it depends on the woman, but probably the biggest is blending. Most people don't know how to blend. They don't have the right tools for blending. Another one that I think is huge is not prepping the skin properly for makeup. A lot of people like to use their moisturizer as their primer. Moisturizer breaks down makeup. It's not going to last as long. So I like to, work with the right primers. A young skin is going to want an anti-shine. An older skin is going to want a primer that's more appropriate for their age. But that's probably the biggest, besides blending.
Well, the blending part is there are special brushes for blending so that it doesn't look like makeup. A lot of people are afraid of makeup because they don't want to look made up, when in fact, really good makeup doesn't make you look made up at all. I would say one of the biggest issues that I found is as we age, things change, our skin texture changes, the product that we use has to change. The lipstick that had a moisture content looked great 10 years ago, not so good now because it's too greasy, it has too much of a moisture, it's not matte enough. But mostly I would say, would you not agree that what we wear for lipstick, a lot of people just slap on some lipstick, they're in the car, we just do it up there. What would you say to being a little bit more intentional or disciplined, as Kathy likes to say, about how that can affect looking made up?
Well, right. As we age, our lips They dry out just like the under eye area. So you want to make sure that you have the right texture for your age. It needs to be appropriate. Your lips also need to be prepped, okay? So you don't want to go in, you've been out in the sun, in the wind, and now you have windburn. You have to make sure that you exfoliate your lips as well for your lipstick. The biggest thing I see right now is everybody is wearing their masks and they don't want to wear the lipstick, but they have an event. They have to go to work. They have to take it off eventually and be with people, you know, even at a distance. So you don't want to be transferring everything into your mask. So I've been using a lot of lip stains on people. And again, there are different textures for those too. Certain brands, like one of my favorite right now is Makeup Forever. It's just so nice on almost every skin type. And so I recommend something like that.
Well, that makes really good sense because if you put a lot of sticky lip gloss on and then you put that face mask on, it's going to be it's going to be a different experience when you take off your mask. One of the other things that I thought was important is how you care for some of the materials that you use, your brushes. You are pretty adamant about being as careful and clean, the process of using brushes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you feel about that?
Your brushes, you have to clean them. Now with COVID, especially if you're traveling, a lot of people travel with put everything in a little kit, you know, a little kit like this or something. And, you know, they're all over the place. You have to clean it. So you can buy a product. You can use, like this one is Cinema Secrets, one of my favorites, but you can just use an alcohol as well. But alcohol eventually dries up your brushes, but you must clean your brushes. You must clean your brushes before they touch your face. You have to wash your hands first, and you have to make sure every product that touches your face is clean and as sanitized as possible. So that's what you need to do. Just spray this on, wipe it off on a tissue, whatever. I always make sure everyone has a little pack of tissues with them if they're traveling. It's very important. You do not want to touch your face without a clean brush.
Kathy, I know, has put together some little sanitation kits that you can travel with, which are really useful because you just want to be protected. I mean, in any case, especially with makeup. I don't think a lot of people understand that mascara that they bought at the drugstore, it should not, number one, there's some chemicals in there, you're using them awfully close to your eyes. The higher level mascaras, which a lot of people will just throw on some mascara and some lipstick of sorts, but about how long you can keep a mascara because of the bacteria that builds up.
People keep makeup too long. So especially mascara or liquids, your liquid eyeliner, your mascara, I'd like to get rid of everything at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, because I thought it was more like 3 months.
Some people like to go that long. I do not.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, you're getting it from the pro. It also dries out and it becomes clumpier, and I think that's what a lot of people want to avoid. They go, I don't wear makeup. I like a natural look. Okay, you can still wear makeup and have a natural look. And then there's events. Should we ever go back to some kind of normal? There's graduations and birthdays and bar mitzvahs and everything else where people want to look their best. And so by investing in this time where we can't be as socially close, we're socially distanced, what would be the best way to reach you to get a virtual consultation? It generally, how long does it take? And how would be the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me is either, you know, via cell phone, email, or the website. And you can go to my website or you can go to Kathy's website. And Kathy is K-squared-O, what is it? K-squared-O.mac?
No, it's .com. It's .com. So that's CHESG as in girl, UARDO.com, K-squared-O. And you can always reach you through that. Give us a phone number that you maybe get text or an email would be fine too.
Okay. The cell phone is 773-508-0857. So 773-508-0857. or you can reach me through Gmail. So it's KarenFranz57 @gmail.com.
And Franz
You
is
can go
F as
to
in
the
Frank,
website,
R-A-N-Z. There's no T to it, right?
TZ.
T-Z, there you go,
I-
F-R-A-N-T-Z, Karen Franz 57 at gmail.com.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. Everybody wants to look and feel their best, whether you have a life change, partner change, you're starting to date, you're not dating, you're on camera, you're off camera. Either way, we want to look and feel our best. And in order not to feel, to look tired when you're not, to look vibrant, it's not about putting on frosty flakes. It's about doing the right things, learning from the right people. I really admire that mother who's showing her daughter early how to be and look their best. Karen, you couldn't survive at a company like NBC with the standards that they have without being the best in your business. You've done and met with the biggest people. As we close here, what piece of advice would you give to women right now, regardless of their age, what they need to do to make life just a little sweeter because you look and feel your best?
In terms of makeup, you mean? Well, basically, if you want, go and get a virtual consultation. Find out, from a professional. It's very, very difficult for somebody to be objective when they're doing their own face. I find a lot of women will do things that they've done, maybe 10 years ago, maybe when they were, felt they're most confident in life, but they're still doing the same thing. And it doesn't always necessarily work as we age. So it doesn't mean that you have to make many changes. It could be like you said, it could be just the angle of the brush. Instead of working this way, you work this way. There are very simple little tricks, tips that we can make to go through everything. And it does make a difference. I've heard it over and over again. And actually, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that this is working as well as it does. I think what happened when I was working in person with people, they used me as a crutch. And, so then I would go back and I would just, okay, you're doing this, but let me take over. Now they have to do it themselves. So I think that makes a big difference. The other big difference is it's so hard to be objective when you're doing your own face. And I'll have somebody go back to doing what they want to do. And I'll tell them to place that brush. Now close your eyes. And I want you to feel and learn that bone structure. Now open your eyes and watch what you've just done. You can't make a mistake as long as you work with your own bone structure. And so many people don't know how to do that. They're doing what they were taught to do 10 years ago. It doesn't always translate.
That's such great advice. And I just know that nothing replaces self-confidence. And definitely we have transitions as we age, as we have different jobs. I mean, you would have, different needs. And getting a virtual consultation to me is something you can do to treat yourself. It's almost necessary. Just one shade off can make you look tired and old. And we just know that, boy, it just takes another eye. So thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank Kay Squardo and Kathy Schmalen for sharing you with us. And I'm hoping that that the people that get this will reach out to you and say, you know what, Karen, I want to look my best. You look terrific. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you'll join us every month for a makeup tip that makes us feel and look our best. Thanks so much for joining us. So Karen, you've given us some great tips today. And one of the things we like to close with is, do you have some specific advice for women in this time where we're in transition? Because we're not going to be in this forever. Someday we will be venturing out. Someday there will be some events, galas, bar mitzvahs, weddings, class reunions, birthday parties, whatever it is. What would you recommend? What would you say is a tip for women going forward to look and feel their best?
Virtual consultations, makeup lessons. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You could be sitting back in a comfy chair. You could have a cup of tea. You could have a glass of wine. You can have all your makeup laid out and organized because we will have gone through the steps that we need. And then we do it and we learn. And you learn in the comfort of your own home where you feel safe. If you have toddlers at home, it's okay. I've done one, and we just set up the toddler next to us, and she gave him a few sponges and brushes, and it's fine. Everything works.
Yeah, it makes sense because
Safety of your own home. You
the
don't
safety
need
is a
to
good
worry.
part. The safety is a good part. And the fact that you're not being pressured to buy products that don't work.
Don't
You're
worry.
encouraged to use products that you already have.
Yes.
There are tips that we didn't even think about with how to hold a brush, which you just demonstrated beautifully. So at the end of the day, this is a great way for you to update your look. It's a time to reignite, reevaluate, and redesign. Going forward from this time on, be really good to yourself. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to bank that you're going to be with us every month for a new tip on how to look and feel our best. And I want to thank Kay Squardo for sharing you with us, kaysquardo.com. And Karen, we're going to definitely share you with people starting ASAP. We all need a little more Karen in our life. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Terry. This was fun.